Okay. So I didn't get the previous chats. If you can put in the chat box again, we can do the discussion and maybe at the end of the chat now, of the session now, inshallah. Still some more to join in. Let me just wait for another 2 to 3 minutes. Challenges like having different opinions when homeschooling. Can you say something on this? I want to understand what are the different opinions in what section, whether it's what subject to start off with or how. Can you elaborate? This is the core requirement. The husband and wife have to be on the same page. If you are wanting to homeschool and the husband says you cannot, you may be able to homeschool for some time, but I don't think you will be able to carry on for a long period of time, for the reason that maybe if there are differences among you, and it may lead to marital issues, and marital issues will cause a loss in mental health. And when you lose your mental health, how will you homeschool? You need to be mentally available, mentally very energetic to actually build upon the whole idea of homeschooling, because you are identifying your child's learning style. You are giving that energy to sit and talk to your child and teach your child. You're also trying to do the home routine, you're trying to do the children's routine. You might have ups and downs due to health reasons. You're basically setting up a buffer zone for these. You have to plan. There's a lot of planning that is required. So if you and your husband are not on the same page, and if something goes wrong and there are issues, then how will you carry on with being consistent with something what you want to do, but there is an opposition there? That's what I have understood. So the questions, we can keep it at the end. Let's continue with the talk, because for another session we will need to join the link again, so we'll just carry on. So resources and curriculum, what all resources and curriculum I had digital resources, printed resources, laminated resources, DIY resources. You can make your own with the chart papers, you can make your own files, you can make your own books. So I did all of these things. Then you have websites saved in your mobile or laptop. You have subscriptions, like I have subscribed. Right now, currently, I have just did some subscriptions to Khair Quest, AMAU. Then there is Qaf Academy. Then before, I had subscribed for Fab Learner program. Um, yeah, so these are my subscriptions. And then you go on to open schooling or online schooling. Open schooling is something like NIOS, NCRT books. So you can do these are for the higher levels, beyond like fifth grade, you can say beyond third grade to fifth grade. So you will be able to think about open schooling, exploring those options, or online schooling, same something like Qaf Academy. Then you have online other schools which operate online, Arafa International School. There's so many from your local areas. You can try to find out where you have these online schooling opportunities. And here, when we come to learning styles, this is where you will be able to understand what type of homeschooling approach you need with your child. Kinesthetic, auditory, and visual. Kinesthetic is something where usually we all are born as a fitra into this kinesthetic way. Why? Because we try to learn with hands-on approach. We touch, we feel. So these are the major types of learners, but some of them have a higher tendency to learn only by doing something, by maybe being in motion, or while jumping and touching. Anything can have, anything can, it can be. So we all have all the three types of learning capacities, but some would be in domination and something would be less. So you need to find which learning style is dominating for your child. Kinesthetic is something which is like a hands-on approach. Auditory is usually by hearing, visual by seeing. So visual, my eldest one is a very kinesthetic and a visual learner. She's not auditory, it's very low for her. So kinesthetic means she would love to do, playing around, very hyperactive, and she would want to touch and do things most of the time, and that is when she would grasp it very easily. And she loves those kind of interactive and hands-on learning activities. Like she loves cooking, she loves clay, um, she loves all the physical stuff. And then visual, in the sense, when I talk to her about something, she likes to visualize it more. Like if I tell her, okay, pen is qalam in Arabic, she would want to see the pen, and she would want to see the pen and the writing in Arabic below that. So these are the very minute things that you need to observe. What type of visual learner she is, what type of kinesthetic learner, and what type of auditory learner. My second one is auditory learner. She likes to listen and learn. She likes to repeat, listen, maybe go in a rhythm or a tune. She loves a tuning approach. So this is how you try to identify. You have all of these combinations for the kids. We all have combinations, but one of them is or usually dominating. Now structure is, you should be thinking when it should be included, because at the age of 3, 4, 5, you cannot do a structure, you cannot sustain the structure unless maybe you are properly building a school at home. So first you need to see how far is the structure necessary at that age, when to begin the structure at the age of 5 or 6. It depends on the maturity. So some children, they can form a structure by their age of 7 years. Some of them will start by 8 years. I started the structure now at when she is around 8+ years. Till then, I had a structure, but in a smaller amount of time. Like for another half of the day, one fourth of the day, I would have a structured approach. The rest of the day would be unstructured. So that's how I used to do it. Time management. The time management skill is something which I'm emphasizing, extremely important after mental health. Anyhow, because mental health is by default. If you don't have the mental health, you will not be able to do anything. So time management means you need to know how to manage your time with different activities, with different responsibilities of your own. If you're in a nuclear family, how you're going to manage your time schedule. If you're in a joint family and still homeschooling, sorry, you will need to understand what kind of time management you need to do. You need to be extremely vigilant and monitoring and observant in these matters, so that every day you're trying to take it and understand, okay, this is working or this is not working, and how you need to think about the routine of the things during the day. Mental health is something which we mothers are always trying to work on from the time we get pregnant, from the time we conceive, because it has its effects. We go into postpartum, we have hormonal issues, we have multiple children to deal with, we have our set of responsibilities, we have our own womanly nature. We are emotional creatures, right? So that mental health is something extremely crucial for us to be taken care of. I used to always I used to take what do you say, I used to learn about self care management and how to calm down mentally and connecting to the Quran. So there are so many ways you can take care of your mental health, but unless and until you are able to identify how your mental health needs to be taken care of. Sister Hafsa, can you please mute your mic? So this mental health is extremely crucial for you to go on with homeschooling. Even if you fall, it's okay. Even if you think that, okay, for the next 1 or 2 or 3 months, I cannot do anything in homeschooling, it's absolutely okay. As long as you are as long as you are very consistent in your plan. So your motivation and your drive and that purpose of homeschooling should always be in your heart. So when that is in your heart, even at the times when you feel like losing out, inshallah you will be able to hop back in to the pattern of homeschooling. It has happened with me. I have lost it many times. I have not been able to homeschool for a few months, and I have lost. I have told my husband many times that I cannot do it. I have to do the home. I have to go for online schooling. But again, I thought, no, what is my purpose of homeschooling? Why am I doing this? Let me just try again. And you need to keep on trying different ways. There's a lot of trial and error that is involved in the whole process of homeschooling, whether it is time management, checking of the resources, managing your mental health. There is a lot of trial and error, because you need to try whether maybe a hot bath works for you or not that time, or whether just having a coffee works for you. Sometimes when you go for a bath, your children are screaming, so instead just have a hot coffee. It's like that, there is complete trial and error. And as long as you are I think you and your husband are on the same page, and he's understanding enough to leave you to explore this area of homeschooling, how you need to take it, then I think inshallah you will be able to become successful after a certain period of time. You cannot be successful, you cannot expect success within like few months or a year or a two. For me it took 7 years. Now today, after my daughter has turned 8.5, is when I have held this lecture confidently enough to share my experience to others, other sisters, telling them, look, homeschooling is not scary. It was scary. It could be, you will have sometimes of fear, disappointment. You might go into depression also. So these are the things you will go through, and this is where the mental health is always coming into check. So handling multiple children, having if you are feeding at the same time, you're having a toddler to look after. Again, the time management and mental health is where you need to again reflect upon, have that cave time for yourself, and try to identify what way you could possibly help your eldest child learn in that way. Maybe just have activity time during the time when you're trying to spend time with a toddler, or just have some coloring sessions. It depends also on the age gap between them. You need to identify how they learn, so that you can incorporate different learning styles with those siblings, so that both of them are also interacting with you, and they're learning on their own also. So it's kind of very tricky, but you can only do it if you are literally, the way you try to, the way a cat would catch a mouse, the way the cat would look at the mouse, where it is going, what is it doing, how is it behaving. This is the way you need to be the cat in the home, and your children are the mouses. So this is how it has to work. And how you set up your daily routine. The stability in rhythm will come after a certain time. The daily routine also will establish a rhythm after a certain time. Your daily routine can change from today. Tomorrow your daily routine will be different. You cannot expect today, oh wow, my child sat for like 10-15 minutes, and tomorrow my child doesn't want to sit at all, or for the next 3 days my child doesn't want to learn. Again, you might lose the motivation to homeschool. You will think, no, I cannot, my child is not learning, and what should I do? I need to seek support. Don't go for seeking support immediately, because even if you're seeking support, the mentor or the guide can advise you only as a general approach. So when, if you can use that general approach and specify it to the type of your child, then it's very good. But if you are completely lost, then it is better you wait it out and try to note down what has helped you and your child sit together and learn, what has not helped, how is your mental health, where you are lacking in time management. Your reflection starts here. To build the structure, you need to start reflecting upon your highs and lows, your marriage highs and lows. How is the dynamic of your marriage? How is the dynamic of your day? How is the dynamic of your daily routine? Everything about your family. Handling infant and toddler, same thing. uh, you're going to establish a routine for that also, and try to identify how you're going to deal with them when you're trying to teach a elder one, or when you're trying to teach a toddler something and your infant is there. If you're living in an extended family, again, that is a completely different setup. Or whether you have supportive people around you or not, or whether you can get a time for yourself where you can do something for your child. So these are the things you need to consider. You need to sit and note it down. You can say journal completely or not journal, but just sit and write if you cannot understand something. If you can understand something, just do it. If you don't understand something, sit and write it down and try to identify and reflect and have that cave time. You can write it down on the paper as number of times as possible, and rewrite to identify what is happening actually with you, because this is not easy. You are building a system. You are building your own education system for your children. For that, for your specific household, you are going to be the founder of that system as a homeschooling mother. So don't lose out. But in case due to any unforeseen circumstance you are still not able to go for homeschooling, take that chance of giving them exposure to a very well filtered school for certain times, where you are asking the right set of questions to the school also, and you are trying to identify what kind of children are coming there, who are the people coming there, which locality people are coming there. You need to be asking the right set of questions. Even in my lactation and my childbirth education classes, you need to ask the right set of questions. You are the mother, you have the full right, full authority to know about your child and your health. In terms of pregnancy, in terms of child, you have the full authority to know about where child is going, where you're sending your child to. And then your marital understanding, because that is the core of everything that is going to lead you to a successful homeschooling pattern. Now, as a conclusion, again, I would like to tell you, you have to be on the same page with your spouse. Budgeting should be done beforehand, not once, but many times, because your budget would change. It's very dynamic, the budget. There should be flexibility and fluidity in managing the budget, in managing time, in managing the routine. Some of the things you need to delegate. If you can delegate some of your housework to a maid, like for the cleaning job, you just take 2 days off, and those 2 days you can think upon homeschooling planning, then you can do that. Whatever form of delegation, not only housework, but whatever the delegation you feel that you can do and some others can take over it, then please go ahead. Reflection is the cave time, extremely important. Why? Because you need to have that reflection. That is what is going to lead you to the next step. Otherwise, when you stop, you will stop for a certain period of time. But when you do the reflection, when you write it down, or when you talk to someone, maybe you just let out your feelings also. You have a mentor also. Maybe when you talk to someone, you remember it better, or you are able to clarify your thoughts better. Please do that in any form, the way you like to learn best. Whether you like to meet someone, whether you like to talk to someone, whether you like to hear something, but do that reflection, do that cave time for yourself. Stick to the purpose and don't fear. Same, just how we stick to the purpose of akhirah, we fear only Allah. We don't fear anything else that is there. We don't fear the future. We don't fear what is coming. So we just take our own information, and we are informed about it, and we take the necessary steps. When we do anything out of fear, we are not able to go ahead and ask the right set of questions. We will not be able to go ahead and plan properly. Our planning becomes deficient when we start fearing the future. Plan light times. So beforehand itself, you know that, okay, fine, if you're pregnant with a baby and you're still homeschooling, then you know what light times would be. The light times would be the last trimester, the last 3 months. You plan to take it easy, or when you want to travel for somewhere for some reason, those will be again the light times where you take it easy. So you know that these are the times you're not going to add a lot of budget for the homeschooling, and you're not going to also put in too much intensive learning pattern that time. You will take it up later on, or you will try to do it in advance, something like that. Plan ahead, but not be preventive. Don't prevent, like, oh my god, if she's not going to finish this subject by the end of this year, I have to plan very strictly that I have to meet this goal. No, don't be preventive in that approach, because as again I told you, your child has a different capacity of learning and different aptitude. So some child may grasp something at the age of 5, some child may grasp something at the age of 8. So do not prevent your child from exploring themselves and trying to take it at their pace. You always stick to the exploration. Let them always get the exposure to what you're trying to teach them, but do not force them into learning it in that period of time. Give some tolerance to the time. Reuse, restructure, refine, reassure. So you need to reuse a lot of materials that you're going to use it for homeschooling. You're going to restructure, again, you restructure your time, restructure your daily routine, restructure your budget. All of these you're going to restructure. You're going to refine them. You're going to upgrade. You're going to refine how you're going to use your time, daily time or daily routine. You're going to refine on these things. You're going to build upon these things, and you're going to reassure yourself that, and your family, that this is going to happen well. We are going to progress inshallah. And then the communication, you need to communicate with your husband, you need to communicate with your children. So the communication only is going to establish that link where we are trying to go ahead with this homeschooling journey, and not create a complete break, like completely being silent about it, and then we don't know where we stand. So in when we start communicating with our spouse, and we are always communicating with the children, even whenever you find time, even if you're not teaching them, and even if you find that your child is not learning or adapting to a certain thing, you just keep talking about them. Look, Allah has told this way. Look, you're supposed to learn like this, and this is how we can do this. Just keep blabbering. I would just say in normal terms, keep blabbering to your children whatever comes in your mind, and to just explain them that this is how we're going to homeschool. And look, homeschool is like this, homeschool is like that. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. Just be like a friend at that time, especially when the child is about 6.5, 7, 8. So they would generally want to talk with you a lot. You're actually trying to be very fluid and very flexible. That is the key. Flexibility and fluidity is the key to make a dynamic educational system in your home itself. I There's a lot to say actually if I have to discuss about homeschooling, but it is, since it's introductory and awareness build up sessions. I want to have different sessions for homeschooling. I wanted to share my journey. I wanted to build upon the motivation for the mothers who are wishing to homeschool, or who are not yet homeschooling, or who are already homeschooling and might want to stop in between, or who have even been successful in homeschooling, whoever they are. Welcome everyone to homeschool, and Jazakumullahu khairan. I can take the questions now, inshallah, for a short period of time, and maybe future questions we could take it on WhatsApp. But I know there's a lot of material, there's a lot to share. Maybe if we also meet face to face, I would love sharing about my experience, inshallah. Barakallahu fikum, Jazakallahu khair. We can take some questions.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Can you hear me now, Sister Aisha?
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, Sister Ala.
Okay. I have actually, the thing was that first of all, Jazakallah khairan for this session. Barakallah fiki. I had a question regarding, I was very enthusiastic to start homeschooling, but when I spoke to one coach, she was like, your husband needs to be, he's on board, but his work timings are such that he cannot contribute much. And that has made me a little worried how I can be able to handle it. And she said he has to be present. So how do I work around that?
Okay, my situation is the same. That's why I came on this topic. Now, how old is your child before I go ahead?
He's 3.5 now.
Okay. And the nature of his job is a job or a business?
It's a job, but his timings are very different. Sometimes night, sometimes morning, sometimes afternoon.
Okay.
8,
Got it.
9.
Okay. So first thing you need to understand is, this is a pattern. You know how, in what time of the day he's available, or in what day of the week he's available. Okay. We can leave that tolerance. He doesn't need to be available every day. He can even be available once a month, but it depends on a bonding, how well you're bonding with your child at this age. Like, even if they are going to go for a long term, if this pattern remains for a long term, the bonding will matter first. And you don't make your child feel left out that the father is not available, because obviously you're going to have some outings, right? You do once in a week or once in 2 weeks. The child knows that, yes, once in a week I'm going to go out with my father. So the main thing here in this homeschooling pattern is, you take care of the textual things and the curriculum, like where you're building upon the structure. And as a homeschooling mother, let your child bond with the father, thinking that, okay, my father is going to take us out. You're going to have a nice time once in a week. That is bonding. Let it be only a bonding relationship between the father and the children. Let not the father, if he's not available to teach something as a subject, it's absolutely okay. Homeschooling is not that. Homeschooling, I have learned something, is that homeschooling is not both parents teaching something. In the beginning, even I also wanted my husband to take a few subjects and teach, but then I thought, okay, he doesn't have the aptitude of teaching something. I am good at teaching, and he is more good in as a play. Like he's a very light-hearted person. He would play with them, he will take us out. That time we will have a nice time, or when he goes out he would give whatever they want. So in this pattern they understand that as a homeschooling, okay, my mama is going to teach me all of these things, and this is how we are going to build the structure at home. Then once weekend comes, okay, khalas, no, we are not going to do anything, it's all play, play, play. So let the homeschooling be a nurturing system itself. It's not that we are teaching something formally, but it is something which they understand. Okay, yes, my mother is taking one role, my dad is taking some other role. And say being on the same page, what I mean is, my husband is also not available from morning 7 to evening 10, sometimes evening 11 also, because I'm the only one here taking care of children for the homeschooling. And I faced a difficult time when my children were smaller. Although I kept on expecting, okay, once in a week at least we would go do this, do that. So that was the only expectation. Once in a week I would tell him that we will go out and we will enjoy. So in when they're small, 3 to 6 years, they will not really depend on how the father is going to homeschool them. They will only depend, okay, one person is going to be a play, person is going to be my mama who's taking care of my needs, who's going to teach something. So this is how I have here my position has been established. I am the caretaker, I am the educationalist, and my husband is the person who will they'll jump onto him and they'll play. So this is how
Right,
the
Barakallah Fiki.
homeschooling is happening. Jazakallah khair.
It's a
Barakallah
very
feek.
very motivating answer, Alhamdulillah.
Barakallah feek. Hope
Yeah.
it's and one more thing, being on the same page means
Yeah.
that even if he's not there, he is letting you do things how
Yes.
you want to plan as a homeschooling mother. He
Right.
trusts you in your
Right.
journey. That's all.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Okay,
Okay.
thank you so much. I'm feeling very better after listening to this. Alhamdulillah.
Barakallah feek.
Jazakallah khairan.
Wa iyaki wa iyaki. So one sister, Dr. Hina Fatima, is asking, how can we implement the saying of Ali radiallahu anhu, 777 rule, till 7 year play, next 7 years education? I did follow. I did follow this rule to some extent, but this rule which is there, it's not like when you're following a hadith, right? So when I started understanding about when to teach children homeschooling as a formal, I never did my formal teaching for my eldest one, but I did give her exposure to books and to how I teach. I'll tell her to sit and start the Quran. So when I enrolled her in the Arabic program, she was around 6.5. So she was 6.5 means she was turning 7. So she's able to understand that thing. So I'll just, and even the teacher over there, she's very, very accommodating, very, very tolerant to her pattern. Sometimes she would want to sit for only 15 minutes, so the teacher will cut the call after 15 minutes. So this is how we want to get the teachers and mentors who are very, very understanding to the child's aptitude, and they should not be forcing upon. I had a few teachers who are, very enforcing on, like the teacher the child should sit and learn, the child should reply. So it should be all of the, and even sometimes I used to get frustrated telling her you have to sit and you have to do it. But then I later on understood that we have, the more slower we go and take up this approach, then it is better. So some children learn 777, some children maybe after 7 or 8, some children even earlier also. It depends on how their mental makeup is. And this is how I did it to my, now my second one, again, she's under 5.5, so it's a completely different approach based on her learning style, I would say. And still it is play for her, but maybe once in or twice a week I would sit and say, okay, come, let's say the surah, let's do this. And we have tried doing the habit builder kind of a program that is now started with AMAU, the Khair Quest. So it is actually building that motivation, because she is motivated, because the elder one is motivated. For the second one, you have to always try to make the topper, the first one motivated to do some things. Only the second and third will automatically follow in most things, although their challenges would be different. So you have to actually individually also deal with them sometimes, you have to collectively also deal with them sometimes. This is how I did it. How to deal with anger issues with a 4-year-old girl. My 5-year-old has a lot of anger issues. Now that is something which I'm still also exploring. Maybe once I cross that age and I learn how to deal with that anger, I'll also share. But what I do right now with her is I tell her, say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, or I tell her to come and hug me, But these are the most thing. Or I immediately pull her to me and I hug her, and that it cools down. Or I tell her, you go to the room and calm yourself. As she's growing older, I will train her to understand her own feelings and deal it in her way for some time, and then I will come into the picture. I will not intervene in the beginning. I will try to intervene later on. First I tell her, look, you're angry right now, you go to the room. Or you're angry right now, if you want to bang somewhere, go and bang on the pillow. I will give her places to go. But if she's not doing any of these things, then I will call her to myself, or I will tell her, you wait, only after you calm down I will speak. So I will try to do mixture of these things. I will sometimes tell her to identify what's going on, then I will be intervening. In the beginning I used to intervene very early. Now my intervention is coming a bit slow, so that she's learning to identify what is happening with her emotion. This is how I'm doing it right now, but I don't know how far it's going to be successful. You will get to understand only after, I think, once you're 7 plus, because then only they start telling their moods clearly. Yes, sister. Yes, sister Isra.
Assalamu alaikum. This
Walaikum
is
salam wa
Reshma.
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah. I joined like a bit late, but Alhamdulillah, it was an informative session. Thank you for that. Actually, right now I am homeschooling my kid. Like she's around 4.5. Last year I joined her in an online program because I was not sure about the curriculum, how it would work and all. But it for online also it was difficult for me, making her sit, doing like whatever they are doing, listen. She doesn't sit in one place, but she listens so much, but she doesn't sit in one place. Now my concern is that I stopped online schooling also because I thought she's not sitting. Then what is the use of making her force and sit even for 2 hours? Yeah. So I stopped. But right now I have a newborn, like she's 9 months, but I'm not able to manage. But I do want to homeschool. Is that fine? Like now we don't teach anything. Just go on the flow, like as you said, just blabber anything with your kid. So I used to do that, like whenever we go to sleep or when we wake up, whenever I have time I do that, but I don't follow any curriculum, or we don't even go out so often. But we do engage with our kid, we do play when my husband comes, so we do everything. Is that fine at this age?
Can I know again, how old is your daughter?
She is 4.5.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine if she's not sitting in more than like 5 minutes. Hardly at four age of 4,
Hmm.
they will be only 5 to 10 minutes is the max. So you just always try to
Okay.
keep calling her. Maybe this time in this, it also depends on
Hmm.
their mood, on your mood.
Hmm.
If they sense you are more calmer, they might respond well. If they
Hmm.
sense that you are already irritated, they might not respond well. Or if they have a sibling to play with, they will go and play with the sibling. Or they just want to
Hmm.
get distracted, they will have their own ways. But only consistency you can maintain is, come, okay, let's try again today. Or after 2 days again you're saying, okay, come and let's do. Or what time do you want to learn? Can we learn it this way? Can we learn it that way? You have to
Hmm.
try to build her up in the
Hmm.
encouragement mode. Like she likes to
Hmm.
listen that she is going to do something with you.
Okay.
So at this four
Actually,
and a half, you can take it slow.
okay, that's what I was concerned about because right now I'm not able to frequently engage with her. So I was worried that either am I lacking behind or am
Focus on
I
only
just
one thing. If you're starting
unable
something
her?
with her, for example, Arabic, just focus on
Hmm.
Arabic for the whole year. Do not start with any new
Okay.
subject otherwise. Not for the whole year, also,
Okay.
depending on
No,
how fast
actually,
she's able to grasp.
I okay. I enrolled her in Fab Learners program, and Alhamdulillah, she's doing good. She's actually interested, and now she started reading also. Like
Good, mashallah.
wherever it's like whatever she sees, she's interested to read. Yeah, so Alhamdulillah, she's doing that. But as for the Arabic, I wanted her to do that, but she's not showing interest.
Yeah, Arabic
Like
is
in
something
one thing,
because
she's,
it's like a language, even for my four and a half, when I
hmm,
started with that, she wasn't showing interest in the beginning. Then
okay,
sometimes when she used to see her elder one sitting with me, she started telling that I will also
hmm,
do. Because I would tell her, see, your elder
okay,
one is also sitting with
hmm,
me. when are you also going to start with me? Let's build up this habits. You'll get more stars for this, like that, or you will get a gift if you sit
Okay.
with me. These are the kind of ways I try to adopt, and I think giving them rewards or these
Mm.
stars on the chart would motivate them more.
Mm.
And for the she's your first one.
Yeah, yeah, she's my first.
Okay, for them it will take a little bit more time if they have to get used to in
Okay.
about what you're saying, or if
Mm.
she's seeing friends around her
Okay.
learn Arabic. That's also very good. If you have
Mm.
chances of
Actually,
taking her to the
the thing is
madrasa.
that madrasa. Actually, my mom is running a madrasa here in my house. So I thought we all are connected to Quran and we take classes. Yeah, so I thought she will grab it and she will sit and learn, but it's not that way. If we call her, she's like, no. She listens and she does. Like if she takes Quran and she just reads something, she just combines all the
That's the
ayah,
one
whatever
actually will
she has
show that
listened.
she is grasping it. Maybe when you
Okay.
ask her to come formally, she may not, because as homeschoolers our children are a bit shy also in front of other kids. They would take sometimes
Okay.
things very lightly, what we think they should take something kind of an important, but when she's
Mm.
doing something on her own is when you need to put like a tick mark. Okay, yes, she is grasping something in terms of the Quran or
Okay,
Arabic,
so
what
that's
you want to
fine.
do.
So no need to worry about it. She
Don't
can we
worry. If
can
you
take
worry,
like
then your mode of homeschooling will change. Don't homeschool and worry. That's the main problem. What we are
okay.
mothers are doing. We
Mm.
can send to
But
school.
actually,
Yeah, tell me.
yeah, no, actually, I am a bit confident. Like I want to do homeschooling, but the surrounding, like my whoever are surrounded by me, they keep on saying like school. If you send to school, you will get a free time, etc.,
No,
etc. A
that's
lot
true
of things
actually.
that keeps on changing
No, we
my.
don't get free time consistently, but we should make our free time.
Mm.
Sometimes what I used to do
Okay.
after the kids sleep is when I take my free time, and I would
Mm.
take the time after 9 p.m., 10 p.m., or sometimes early mornings
Okay.
after Fajr. Sometimes not at all.
Mm.
When my children were smaller, actually, it was a big struggle for me to get the free time. The free time was only the time when we all used to go out. I used to feel a bit relaxed because the
Mm.
kids would be under my husband's care. So now, when she's 8
Mm.
and my younger one is about 5.5, and they have been now used to in a pattern, they are coming into a pattern. That is when I am thinking, okay, this is where I can stick to a free time. But even now, when I'm currently talking on
Mm.
the call, they're still seeking my attention. So either I have to be very mentally focused on speaking to someone, keeping their noise around, or I have to eliminate their noise to focus something. So it also depends on how we are going to take things. What kind of
Mm.
definition in our free time would be. It's a bit hard,
Okay.
but we have to, if we are consistent, then we will reach somewhere. If we are not able to handle, because yes, there are times you will face health issues. I have gone through facing health issues, but we have to start, what do you say, bouncing back to our uh, positive self sooner. Sometimes we realize
Mm.
late, sometimes we realize early. So as a young mother, if you're young mothers,